What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video. And today, give me a minute and let me share this on Twitter. Come on, phone, work with me here. How's everybody doing today? We're going to talk about this stock from Disney and their revenue report, which I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this at all. And I'm going to speculate with my little bit of knowledge. So give me just a minute. Boom, we're live. Okay, so revenue reports for the Walt Disney Company are out for quarter number 3, and their revenue dropped overall, and their stock fell 2%. So I think that's going to be some interesting stuff to get into. I'm going to give everybody time to jump in here. Again, I am not a stock market expert, and I'm not going to pretend to be one. I'm going to speculate a little bit on what some of this may mean, but overall, we're just going to shoot the shit. So, all right. So what's up, Ruben? What's up, George? What's up, Julio? What's up, William? What's up, Adam, Metalhead, Mac Welch, Johan, Brighton? What's up? Appreciate everyone joining us today. Let's see. Ghost says, hey, Jeremy, can I get a shout out, buddy? Love your content. Been watching since a few thousand subs. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Blastia, I think. Ghost Blastia. I think that's how you say that. So Biffy says, please, Jeremy, do not notice me. It failed. But yeah, if you guys don't mind, go ahead and like that button, smash that melee button, share this on Twitter. Let's let everyone know, because obviously our notifications are broken here on the Geeks and Gamers channel. Hopefully we can our stream doesn't lag out like it did yesterday, which was very frustrating. So let's see. Are you a fan of Alex Becker? Yes, I like Alex Becker. Alex Becker's cool. He gave us a compliment a few times. He actually super chatted like $50 when we hit 50,000 subs, I believe. So yes, I'm a big fan. So N7 Myth, please notify me. Yeah, unfortunately, our notifications don't work very well, but that's not specific to the Geeks and Gamers channel. That happens to a lot of people. And so the color is called Salmon Moss, says Morgan McGinnis. So William Oliver, I liked it. It says, I am first. You're the first person, William Oliver. It says we have 19 likes so far. So Anthony Perez says, hello from Pensacola Beach. What's up? What is up? All right. Smash the ultimate button for the bros. That's super. Benji64. I like it. I like the spin you've put on that. Let's see. James Carmichael, hello from Wales, UK. All that's awesome. Thank you for joining us from the UK. That's great. Let's see. And there's Odin's movie blog. Odin had another great video here on the channel earlier, so it was awesome to see. So normally we would have a lot more people watching by now, but whatever. That's how YouTube wants to work it. So once we hit 100, I'm going to go ahead and start on our topic, and we're going to discuss it a little bit. And again, I don't know stocks very well, so I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this, but it's news that I saw run across my Twitter feed. And I thought it was some interesting stuff that we can discuss. And if anybody wants to educate me after we get done talking, I will be more than happy to hear you out. So this is from CNBC, and it says the Walt Disney Company reported fiscal third quarter earnings and revenue that missed analysis expectations on Tuesday. Here's how the company did compared to what Wall Street expected. And basically the earnings were slightly off. The revenue was slightly off. Revenue came in at $15.23 billion versus a $15.34 billion forecast. And so, it's obviously not a big problem. Overall, it looks like their stocks are in really good shape. carried heavily by the Avengers Infinity War and the Incredibles 2, which both cleared $1 billion. Overall, it looks like their parks and resorts and their studio business were definitely up. But I'm wondering, obviously, the big question here is how much did Star Wars have to do with this? How much did the loss of Solo play into them slightly missing their reports that Wall Street had pinned for them? I really want to know. And I mean, I guess you can do the math, but again, we have some math in front of us for Solo, but I don't know if we truly know how much money that movie lost for Disney. I think that's a very interesting aspect. And so let's see. That's what I'm interested in. So, and then you have to look at the toy sales and everything like that, and we don't know how that played into it, which that's going to be an interesting aspect of it. So, okay, hang on. So Brighton Charrier. Let's see. Seriously, Jeremy, I finally watched it. You watched Alpha Dog? Finally? It's about time. That's what I'm talking. I'm sorry I missed your comments earlier. So what did you think, Brighton Charrier? What did you think of Alpha Dog? Because Alpha Dog is awesome. We will return back to this in just a few minutes. Caitlin Alba says, hi, I'm late. What's going on? We are talking about the Disney stock. Let's see. We are talking about the physical third quarter earnings and revenue from Disney, the Walt Disney Company, where they slightly missed expectations on Tuesday. Overall, the film division was up, and that was had a lot to do with the Avengers Infinity War and the Incredibles 2. Obviously, both films cleared $1 billion. I think Infinity War actually cleared $2 billion. But I'm curious as to how much did Solo have to do with them slightly missing the forecast. I think it had a lot to do with it. But again, I'm not an expert on this. I'm purely speculating based on this news that came across my news feed. Rhaegar Targaryen says, subverted expectations. It says message restricted, Brighton Charrier, so I can't see what your response is. So is this a classic example of get woke, go broke? That's what I'm thinking. I think it's a get woke, go broke situation. So who knows, though? You know, Nick says, what's up, geeks and gamers? What's up? I didn't do my intro yet, but I will here in just a few minutes. So if you will give me time, I will definitely do that. Solo was largely a second quarter issue for them financially. Okay. That's good to know. Now, so it didn't carry over any, because I mean, but if like the Avengers is that released really close to this, so I'd have to think that Solo had something to do with it. But again, I'm not an expert on this, so I have no idea. Imagine Odin's movie blog says, imagine if Star Wars wasn't garbage, they would make bank. I mean, that's so true, and it's so simple. It's so simple. Do you think this affects Star Wars Land opening, Jeremy? Sean Earl. No, I do not think this affects Star Wars Land opening at all. According to something I saw too, Bob Iger actually didn't even refer to it on the conference call as Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. He actually referred to it as Star Wars Land, which is funny, which is what it should be called. I don't really have a big problem with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I think it's a fine name, but I just think they should call it Star Wars Land. Just call it Star Wars Land, because that's what it is. Melee that smash button if you don't mind. Ben V says, Jeremy, you rock. Thank you, Ben. We appreciate that. No, I don't think it'll have any impact. Actually, I'm not even going to say I don't think. It won't have any impact on Star Wars Land at all. Morgan McGinnis says, Star Wars Land is all we call it here. Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't... Galaxy's Edge is cool, I guess. It's an okay name, but I would much rather just call it Star Wars Land. It just fits better, and that's what I'm probably going to call it. Galaxy's Edge sounds like a new smartphone model. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. So, do you prefer Galaxy's Edge or do you prefer Star Wars Land? In the chat, let me know. Galaxy's Edge or Star Wars Land? That's what we're going to make this determination right here in the live stream. What are we going to call it here? Are we going to call it Star Wars Land or are we going to call it Galaxy's Edge? Yeah, everybody. It's going to be a universal, I think. I think universal, everybody wants Star Wars Land. Galaxy's Land. Star Wars Land, Star Wars Land. Star Wars Edge, Star Wars Edge. I thought Galaxy's Edge was a phone. Star Wars Graveyard. So let's go ahead and say it right now. We're not going to refer to it as Galaxy's Edge. We're going to call this thing Star Wars Land here at Geeks and Gamers. We've made the decision. See, this is the exciting part of becoming part of a early Geeks and Gamers live stream. You have a say-so in what we do. So that's what's going to be. That's what's cool about it. So it is officially Star Wars Land as far as we're concerned. And I'm excited about it. I know some people have concerns, but I'm extremely excited for Star Wars Land in Walt Disney World and Disneyland. I can't wait. You all know I'm a big Disney fan. In terms of the theme parks, I've been very critical of what they're doing with Star Wars. I've been very critical of what they've been doing with Marvel up until the point of Avengers Infinity War, and I absolutely loved Infinity War. Pando Lando Land. Let's see. What's up, Jay? He says, hey, Jeremy, and hey, everybody. So if you're just joining us, we were talking about the Q3 earnings from the Walt Disney Company. They had their conference call. And basically, to give the gist of it really quick, Walt Disney Company reported physical third quarter earnings and revenue that missed analysis expectations on Tuesday. Slightly. Not really a big miss for them, but a miss nonetheless. And within the hour of the conference call concluding, their stock dropped 2%. My question was, how much did this play? How much did Solo play into this? Because Solo, obviously, we're not sure. I think there's reports that Solo lost 80 million, 200 million. I don't really know how much it lost, but I'm curious as to how much that played into it. And I think it had to play something into it. But again, I'm not an expert on stocks. I'm not an expert on any of that. So some people have told me that, Solo was more of a Q2 situation, but I don't really know how that's possible since Avengers and The Incredibles were so closely released to Solo, and they're directly referenced in this conference call. Without Infinity War or The Incredibles, that would have to be a huge problem for them. So obviously, let's see. Von Darkmore says studio revenue was up 20%. Absolutely. Yeah, studio revenue was up. We know that. But what I'm saying, though, is it should have been up 25% or 30%, maybe, if Solo wouldn't have lost money. There's no way they had that movie forecast to lose money. That's what I'm saying about it. So, Cecil Land. Yes, Cecil Land. That would be awesome. So, maybe they're Blu-rays. Maybe. The Wendig is down 40 points today. Okay, Brighton Cherrier says, I was really fascinated by the editing, amazing cast, and great acting all around. However, I did not dig the green screen and FX. Overall, 8 out of 10. Should I upload my review of it? I didn't see the first. I didn't see the first comment you left. So, here it is. I was really fascinated by that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I mean, I if you've seen Alpha Dog, you probably have an opinion on it. I think Alpha Dog's fantastic. I think it's a great movie. I love it so much. It is truly an awesome movie. And so I'm finally glad that Brighton was able to watch that. Joe Perman says, Kathleen Kennedy Land. If they name it Kathleen Kennedy Land, I will never step foot in a Disney park again. And that's a bold statement coming from me as someone that's such a fan of Walt Disney World. If they named it Kathleen Kennedy Land, I'd be done. Nope. Never, ever going. Never again. Rory Butcher says, laughing my ass off, Kathleen Kennedy Land. Oh, it would be terrible. Memphis Dale, what's up, man? How are you? Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Let me turn my phone off because it keeps going off. Now, also, don't forget, we have the High Council tonight over on Ethan Van Sciver's channel. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait. Hit that melee button if you don't mind. Let's get us up over 100 melees or smashes or likes. Ryan Roundhead, Kathleen Kennedy Land. I mean, if they really wanted to destroy their theme park attendance, because see, the thing with Disney is they're in this situation where they have, like, their Disney parks are so busy that they can literally make decisions that will turn people off, because that's how busy these parks are. Sometimes they get congested with too many people. And the fact that that they have to make those decisions just shows how lucky they are. But if they really wanted to drive attendance away, they could just name one of their parks Kathleen Kennedy or Roundhead Ryan Johnson Land, and I promise you the attendance would drop substantially, and they would not have to worry about people visiting that park. So let's see. Cool Connoisseur says they can ill afford bad decisions because Universal has been killing it. Universal has been killing it as far as the theme parks go. The Harry Potter situation has been it's been a problem for Disney. It's been a big problem. And originally J.K. Rowling was negotiating with Disney to have Harry Potter at Walt Disney World. I'm assuming Disneyland too. I don't know that for sure. But obviously, when you go into a Disney theme park, you have no creative control. Disney's not going to allow you to have creative control. So J.K. Rowling didn't want to give up creative control. So then she went to negotiate with Universal. And they're never going to catch Disney in terms of just core theme park attendance because that's just too big of a gap. But they have been eating away at the market shares for a while now. And Comcast is dumping money into Universal like crazy. And the good thing about it is it's a competition. So like all of our old school wrestling fans, you get this. Like when was wrestling the best? When there was competition. When WCW was making WWF, like push the envelope and forcing them to be more creative every single week. That challenge, that competition aspect is good. So the fact that Universal is constantly pushing Disney in the theme park area, it's good. It's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. Christopher Trimble, what would it take for Disney to cancel EA's contract? The problem is like, regardless of how people feel about what's going on with the Disney EA situation and Star Wars and all that, those games sell like crazy. I wish Disney could understand that they would sell even more if they would actually do it right. Again, I'm a person who liked the EA Battlefront games, the recent ones. I liked Battlefront 2 and Battlefront 1, 2015, 2017. But I'm also self-aware enough to understand that those were really disappointing games for a lot of people. Right now, I don't think Disney's going to end their agreement with EA anytime soon, simply because EA is kind of the top dog in the developer industry right now. They have the most money. They have all of the resources. They just don't utilize them. And EA is EA has the same problem as Disney. Lack of self-awareness. A really bad problem with lack of self-awareness. Like, don't they understand? Like, I thought the multiplayer aspect of those games was good, and I enjoyed the hell out of them. But it's Star Wars. So, like, I'm someone that likes Titanfall, for instance. I love Titanfall. The first Titanfall is fantastic. The fact that Titanfall didn't have a campaign really wasn't a big deal to me because I don't really know it. I'm not invested into that universe or that world. This is Star Wars. Like the EA games, 2015 and 2017 looked great, sounded great, and it had that Star Wars feel. If you could give us a real campaign, like a 12, 15, 20-hour campaign in the Star Wars universe that looks like that and sounds like that and feels like that, that's a home run. That's a grand slam. But they don't seem to understand that. Now, the flip side of it, if you go back to Battlefront 2015, I feel like Disney probably rushed EA on that one. I feel like they wanted that game out in time for, Christmas and the Force Awakens release. So I feel like Disney probably rushed EA into that situation. So you can't really hold EA completely responsible from that perspective. But then you look at Battlefront 2017 and the PR nightmare that happened with that game, the disaster. And it just, again, I didn't really have a problem personally with it, but it just shows EA's lack of self-awareness. And the campaign really sucked. Like, it really did. Like, I played through the campaign. It had a couple of cool moments, but it really wasn't good. And it could have been great if they would have just, like, why do you have to introduce a new character? Let us play as Luke the whole time. But you wanted to give us Iden. It makes no sense to me. Like, it's a big problem with the lack of self-awareness. So, all right. Let's see where we're at. Mega Jetty 1, have you checked my comment on your vid earlier? I don't know. Which one, Mega Jetty? I apologize. You talking about the one where I talked about Alex Jones earlier? I apologize if I didn't see that one. I will check it out, though. Let's see. Brandon Moraldo says, first live stream I've caught in a long time playing the new Madden while I listen. Go Giants, go Dogs, and save Star Wars. Well, Brandon, thank you, man. I hope you're enjoying playing some Madden, and I hope you find some entertainment listening to the live stream. We appreciate that. It looks like you're a football fan, so make sure you're subscribed to Sports Wars. We are doing our live stream on the Sports Wars channel tomorrow, probably shooting for around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope we can get some viewers, because obviously we only have about 1,000 subs on the Sports Wars channel, but I think we can get a few people in there. We can have some good sports conversations. Thank you guys for liking the video. We appreciate it. Earlier on Sports Wars, Pat, Cool Connoisseur, made a video, and I love the fact that he was like, we ain't scared of Jeremy over here. Ain't nobody scared of Jeremy. We all have our own opinions. That's what Geeks and Gamers is all about. And Jeremy has his opinions, and we have ours. We're all some grown men over here, and I loved it. I thought it was great, and that's what Sports Wars is all about. That's what Geeks and Gamers is all about. It's about strong personalities having their own individual opinions. And yeah, maybe I'm the face of it, and obviously I have a strong personality. I'm never going to, mince my words. I'm never going to, you're going to know where I stand on things. But our team, whew, man, our team is awesome. So, so the Sports Wars crew, we're going to have a lot of fun this year. So thank you guys for liking the video. And thank you for joining the live stream. Jeremy, do you think LeBron is a cult leader? I'm going to save LeBron comments for tomorrow because trust me, I got a lot to say on the Sports Wars channel tomorrow. And I'm sure that Pat is going to challenge me because we're on different sides of this one, but I got a lot to say about that mofo, a lot. Let's see. Indy Defense, breaking news, Kathleen Kennedy to succeed Bob Iger as Disney CEO. So tomorrow at 7, you said, yes, I will update everybody on Twitter and the community tab. I've got a pin down. I think it's going to be at 7. I got to talk to my guys and finalize that. Let's see. I'm looking right now. Jeremy LeBron starts all the drama with Trump and plays the victim. Woo, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about it, but I'm waiting until tomorrow. Now, for those of you that are just joining us, we were talking about the quarter 3 results, the earnings results for revenue from the Walt Disney Company. I just want to prep you all real quick, give you a rundown of what I was talking about. So the Walt Disney Company reported physical third quarter earnings and revenue that missed analysis expectations on Tuesday. So Disney slightly missed Wall Street's analysis, not by much at all. The Parks and Resorts division was slightly up. Studio was up, I think, 20%. That was heavily, in part due to Infinity War and I'm looking at it now. Oh, The Incredibles 2. I'm drawing a blank. Incredibles 2 and Infinity War both crossed $1 billion. Infinity War obviously crossed $2 billion. But my question was, and I'm not an expert in, Wall Street or stocks or anything like that. My question was, did Solo play a part into them losing their overall, expectations slightly? And if Solo would have been a success like it should have been, because it's a Star Wars movie. Actually, it should have never existed, by the way. Solo should have never even existed. But the point is that directly ties into the Star Wars brand, Kathleen Kennedy, and her terrible decision-making. So if you look at Disney across the board, it looks to be that they're in really good shape from all of their stuff. Parks and resorts, overall movies. Pixar looks great. Marvel looks great. But guess what? There's one brand that they have that doesn't look great. And it's the brand that should always be great. But then when you start putting identity politics into stuff, you get woke, go broke every time, every single time. So again, if I don't know what I'm talking about with this, stocks and stuff like that, please educate me. I'm just speculating based on what I see, based on my limited knowledge, and based on what we have. So nice blue eyes you have, Jeremy. Well, thank you, Johnny Five. Let's see, Comrade Commodore. That campaign was cool for about 2 missions. Then Iden had to go and join their dirty rebels. I clocked out after that. It was so like they couldn't just make a female character like the true bad guy, could they? They had to make her turn. Like I knew it. Like when I saw that Iden was part of the Empire. And I thought Iden was an okay character. I didn't hate her like I thought I would, especially during the reveal. I thought she was going to be horrible. She was all right. But yeah, man, like, I mean, you couldn't even let her stay a bad guy. You had to show that she's a whammon and she's a good person, so she joins the rebellion. Get the hell out of here. But I did like Iden overall. I thought Iden was a good character. The problem is I would rather play with Luke Skywalker. You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't you just let me play with Luke? Regardless of your opinion of Battlefront 2015, one of my favorite moments in gaming is when I get to play as Luke Skywalker in multiplayer. It's one of the most satisfying things ever. It's so cool. You're such a badass. Luke's such a badass. I love when he's in his Return of the Jedi outfit. It's so cool, man. I love it so much. I get so excited when I play as Luke Skywalker on these new Battlefront games. Love it. Mr. Steelman 335, we will and must destroy Kennedy and her feminine Nazis. Yep. Well, she's doing a good job of that herself, really, to be honest with you. She's doing a very good job of that. All we're doing is we're holding her accountable. We're holding her accountable, as any person should be held accountable. I should be held accountable for Geeks and Gamers. If you guys don't think that we're doing a good job at Geeks and Gamers, hold me accountable. Why? Because I'm in charge of it all. It's all me. If it's bad, it's my fault. If it's good, it's my team's fault. That is how leadership works. So if there are things that are going wrong, it's my fault. That's how it is. And I'm okay owning that. So if there's problems within Geeks and Gamers, geeksandgamers.com, our Twitch channel, our YouTube channel, our Patreon, which I've already admitted that I've been screwing that up lately, hold me accountable. It's okay. That's what leaders are always okay to be held accountable for their decision-making. Kathleen Kennedy has been hiding in a bunker like Saddam Hussein was for like 7 months now since The Last Jedi turned out to be a disaster and nobody can find her right now. She's like Bin Laden. She's just hiding with a camel somewhere where nobody can find her right now. It's a complete joke. It's a complete joke. Like, this woman's supposed to be leading this company and nobody can find her. It's like ridiculous. It's unbelievable. Like Kathleen Kennedy just chilling with a camel in a bunker right now because she's scared to answer questions, to answer for her terrible decisions. It's unbelievable. ESPN's still dragging Disney down. Yeah, ESPN. Yeah, that's the one aspect of Disney that outside of Star Wars that's not doing what it should. But ESPN is a plague. So the camel is female. All right, Wolfman Jack. Hey, Jeremy, just want to say I'm engaged in Solo Boycott 2.0, where I've purchased both Infinity War and Deadpool 2 and watching them, but avoiding Solo just as I did in theaters back in May. Good job, Wolfman Jack. I do not think I want recommendations right now here in the chat, okay? Solo is going to come out very soon on Blu-ray. I don't know the date. I don't want to watch it. But I want a yes or a no. Should I watch Solo on Blu-ray? I won't pay for it. I'll figure out a way to watch it without paying for it. But should I even watch it? Because the things I've heard about it, like, I don't want L3 to be part of my canon. So as long as I don't watch this movie, it's not part of my canon. You know what I'm saying? So mostly no's, some yeses. Solo watch party with the High Council. Watch it. It's your job. Nice Ice says. I will say, as much as I see you guys telling me you don't want me to watch it or I shouldn't watch it, at the end of the day, I do think generally you still want my opinion on it. I think, but I'm gonna monitor this situation. I'm gonna make up my mind. I don't know when it comes out, but I think most of you, even though you're saying no, which I understand where you're coming from, I think you still want my opinion on the movie. But I don't want L3 to be part of my canon. I don't want to know anything about this character. I've heard terrible things about this character. It just sounds incredibly painful. Smash that melee button if you don't mind. We appreciate that. Let's see. Mega Jetty 1. Yes, the Alex Jones vid. Disagree or not? Mega Jetty, I haven't seen your comment yet. But let me see if I can pull up your comment really quick. There's going to be a lot of comments on that video, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't know if I can find it really quick. Let's see here. Come on, internet, work with me here. The fact that you're super chatting me these questions means I want to try to answer you if I can find your comment. There's probably already 1,000 comments on this video. Here it is right here. Okay. It says, Jeremy, I wholly respect you and your opinion, but I'm afraid you may be a little short on facts, so I'll provide them for you. Alex Jones said that the Sandy Hook school shooting was a fake, and people went there to inquire about the child actors that played their part. The parents were still grieving, and here come these idiots upsetting them even more. Alex Jones is entitled to free speech, but he also has to be responsible for his actions, and he was completely irresponsible. He terrorized these grieving parents and made money from it. This, among all the other nonsense he's spouting under the so-called claim of performance art, which his lawyer said in order for him to keep custody of his kids was too much, and that's why they ousted him from their sites. He's gone completely through as he still has 2 websites, InfoWars, Prison Planet, to spout his nonsense from. Okay, so, and thank you for the comment. So, I mean, again, I'm not saying I agree with what he did. And again, I don't know much about Alex Jones, so I can't, I'm going to take what you're saying as that happened. Again, he has his right to believe whatever he wants. There are instances in the past where there has been cover-ups and fake situations, and so maybe that's not true, and I think it's terrible if that's what happened, but he has the right to say what he wants, and this happened how many years ago? So now, all these years later, is when these 4 companies have come together, decided they're going to ban Alex Jones from all of their platforms because of something that happened how many ever years ago? Like, that doesn't really add up. Like, if that was the case, then they should have banned him when he actually did that and when that started happening. So now it just seems like there's a lot more to this decision, and that bothers me a lot. And again, if that's going to be your bar, if that's going to be the bar that Alex Jones upset people, then where does it stop? At what point do feelings start impacting a decision that you have to get someone off of your platform because they hurt someone's feelings? Again, that's just a slippery slope for me. I don't like almost anything Alex Jones says or does, but I stand by his right to do it and say it. And that's just part of it. So that's the way I look at it. There's a lot of people on the internet, like, okay, PewDiePie is a great example. PewDiePie talks about how there's so many people that use his content and they put his content in their videos. He doesn't strike them. He doesn't go after them. What kind of world would that be where PewDiePie is striking people that are using his content to make content for their own? He doesn't do that. And so this whole notion, like, there's a lot of people, and when I say a lot of people, I mean in respect to my world, that has taken off in the last 6 months. Like, there's still not a lot of people talking about me per se, but from what I've experienced in the past few years of my life to now, yeah, there's a few people out there that use my videos and talk about me on a consistent basis. And they say a lot of things that aren't true, flat out are not true about me. Does that hurt my feelings? I mean, if I was a sensitive person, I could definitely lean on that. And again, I'm not comparing that to something that happened at Sandy Hook, but I'm just saying, how do you legislate hurt feelings? How do you determine how serious the crime is when you hurt someone's feelings? So if someone has, a kid that died, how do you determine that someone hurt their feelings by the words they used? Now, before anyone says it, you bring up and somebody's going to do it. I'm not looking at the chat right now, but somebody's going to do it. Well, Jeremy, you said that James Gunn should be fired for whatever. Right, because James Gunn was an employee of the Walt Disney Company, and he specifically said things that are against the law. Now, that's a more deeper subject. My whole thing was that James Gunn basically painted a target on his own back because he wanted to virtue signal all day long and talk about how words are mean and how people offended him, and then it showed that he was a complete hypocrite. But you worked for the Walt Disney Company. Alex Jones, so if Alex Jones gets banned because YouTube doesn't like what he says, does that mean every person on the YouTube platform that's on here now, every single person, YouTube agrees with them and stands by them? That doesn't make sense to me because they clearly don't agree with every person on their platform. So it's a very slippery slope is all I'm saying. I'm not justifying Alex Jones, and I never will. But this whole situation is complicated, and that's all I'm saying, really. All right, I got a lot to catch up on. So let me see here. I'm sorry, guys, but that was a good question, Mega Jetty, and I appreciate what you're saying. I really do. You know I do. You know I respect you a lot, and I appreciate you giving me more context to the situation, because as I said in my video, I don't know a lot about Alex Jones. I really don't. All I'm saying, like, if this Sandy Hook thing would have happened yesterday, and then all of these companies said, okay, we can't have this crap on our platform, I guess I could understand it a little more, but this happened years ago. And it's been a thing that's been in the mainstream for a while. Everybody's known what he said. And now today they've decided that the Sandy Hook thing is a little too far. That doesn't add up. 2 + 2 is not adding 4 in that situation for how I'm looking at it. Shannon McDaniel, $2 just to holla. Love you, man. Well, thank you so very much. And I'm probably mispronouncing your name again, and I apologize, but it's good to see you here. I hadn't seen you here in a while, but I appreciate you supporting the channel and supporting the live stream. Thank you so very, very much. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. I'm going to get to more of the super chat. I was talking so long, and I didn't see what you guys were saying. So, like, okay, for instance, okay, so Spotify, and again, my daughter has Spotify. I know nothing about Spotify. I got an Android phone, bro. I just download music off one of my apps. You know what I'm saying? So Spotify. They removed Alex Jones because of the hate speech, because something he said against transgender or whatever. Am I understanding that correctly? So, do they have Eminem's music on there? And I'm asking. So, do they have Eminem's music on Spotify? Specifically, do they have Kim on Spotify, where he literally, with his daughter, quote unquote, murdered his wife? Do they have that song on there? I'm going to wait for you guys to tell me, because I don't know. So does Spotify have Eminem's music, and do they have Kim on there? So, okay, a few people are telling me, yeah. What's the difference in what Eminem literally murdering his wife for entertainment purposes? So how do you determine? And Kim Mathers has actually been in and out of all types of drug treatment programs. They've been remarried and married and divorced several times. There's been all types of crazy things going on. So you see that there are some actual real world ramifications to that music. Yet, is that not hate speech? Now, again, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying, like, because I love old school Eminem. I loved Eminem before he became a beta. Before he really fell off the wagon and started becoming exactly what he used to piss off. But so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Sandra says, totally disagree with you. Alex Jones is an idiot. I'm not saying Alex Jones isn't an idiot. I'm not a fan of the guy at all. At no point am I saying that I'm a fan of him. So let's see. Not an argument, Jeremy. Eminem did not commit defamation. Again, did you see all of the protests going against Eminem back in the 90s? Like, literally the same things that people are saying now are all of that stuff they were saying about Eminem before. He was anti-woman. He was anti-gay people. He was offensive. He was dangerous. He was spreading hate speech. He was talking violence. All that stuff. All that stuff was the same thing that Eminem was going through. And now Eminem's the internet white knight. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. All right. Jeremy, why don't you like Alex Jones? It's not so much that I don't like him as much as I don't know anything about him. And I think that a lot of things he says, I think he's an actor. I do. I think, now again, we're all putting on a show here on YouTube. We all do, because I've told you before, like, I mean, do you really want me to, like, all right, I could sit here. I could not have my studio set up. I could not have lights. I could not have a cool microphone. I could not have all my stuff sitting behind me, all that. I could just be sitting here in my boxers, with my goofy hairdo. and just talking at a really low way and just not have any personality whatsoever. So everything's a performance per se. But I just feel like Alex Jones is taking it to like a professional wrestler level, which is cool. I have no problem with that. But I'm just saying I don't take him seriously. I've laughed at a lot of his stuff because I think he's hilarious. So again, I said earlier, if you can educate me on things, please do. Alex Jones is a heel. So Young Turks are turning the frogs gay. All right, let me hit a couple super chats and we'll get back into the regular chat. I appreciate you guys. All right, John Matrix, we should get the Shermanator, Chuck Sherman, to target Kathleen Kennedy for Shermanation. The Shermanator. Yes. Michael Hand, picture Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic as Han Solo. Oh, man. That's interesting. I've never thought about that, Michael Hand. Good to see you here, Michael Hand. I hadn't seen you in a while, so good to see you. Let's see. Colonel Bat Guano. Alex Jones made up facts about someone committing a crime. That is defamation and not protected under the First Amendment. He has done this multiple times, and YouTube could be held liable as well. That's good information. And again, this is the part of you guys educating me on something. I'm never going to claim to be an expert on Alex Jones. So I'm just looking at it from what I've heard because I've listened to a lot of different content creators and getting their thoughts on the Alex Jones situation. Some I disagreed with, some I didn't. So I'm going to fact check that and check it out. But who did he make facts? Who did he make it up against is my question. So who is the person he made that up against? Let's see. Rob Dog. Well, I understand, Jeremy. Thanks for responding. No, man, no problem at all. No problem at all. That dude you just read is wrong. Okay, so he won the case. Okay, so see? All right, so he won the case that you're talking about, Bat Guano. So again, now, and again, pure speculation, I am reacting to our community's comments here. So before somebody takes what I'm saying and chops it up to make it sound like I'm saying something I'm not, go fuck yourself. But I'm reading as my community is educating me. So if he made up crimes about someone, and that is defamation, it's not defamation if he was found innocent in a court of law. So you're just making up your own facts because you don't like the guy, which how can YouTube be held liable for something where he was found innocent in a court of law, if in fact all of that happened? You know what I'm saying? So Jeremy hurt my feelings by not bringing me onto his live chats. My feelings with a lot of exclamation points. So again, I just think in these situations, there's too much hyperbole. There are people that are, just because they hate Alex Jones, they're celebrating this. And I think that is a very narrow-minded point of view and how you look at the world. And so, again, that's just my opinion on it. I just think that this is not good for any content creator. It's a very bad precedent. Alex Jones has been around for, 20 years? And now yesterday was the day they decided he's no longer worthy of being on the internet. That doesn't add up to me. It doesn't make sense. All right, let me get back on track here. I'm sorry we got way off track. Let's see. D. Curry says, can spend my YouTube Red $12.99 on better content. Well, thank you, man. I got YouTube Red for Cobra Kai, but I don't use it anymore. But really quick to update everyone, thank you all for joining the chat. Hit that smash button, like that smash button, melee it. I was talking about earlier, and then we'll get back to super chats if you guys want. The Walt Disney Company reported physical third quarter earnings and revenue that missed analysis expectations on Tuesday. I am not an expert on Wall Street or stock or anything like that. The point I was trying to make is that Disney slightly missed expectations. It's not like they're going under, nothing like that. But with Infinity War and the Incredibles 2, both passing 1 billion, and the Infinity War actually going over 2 billion, that obviously elevated the studio to 20% increase. And so parks and resorts were in good shape, which they always are. but they're not growing as much as they should be, in my opinion. But I could talk about that on a different video. My question was how much did Solo play into this? How much of a role did Solo play into it? And I think that's very important to it because Solo lost anywhere between $80 and $200 million, depending on who you ask. But then you have the toy sales, which we all know nobody went out and bought those damn toys. I didn't. You didn't. The only person that went and bought them was Ethan Van Sciver just so he can make fun of them. And I totally support that. But other than that, I'm just curious, how much did that play into it? Mega Jetty 1 says, I agree it's complicated, though I'm no expert. No, but I appreciate the back and forth. The only way we can all learn is to have conversation. So Mega Jetty is educating me on some things that I didn't know about the Alex Jones situation because admittedly, I don't watch the guy. I've never sat through and watched any of his content on a consistent basis. The only let me show you one of the first things I saw from Alex Jones. It's only a few seconds long, so give me a minute and let me see if I can find it. It's so goddamn funny. Unless YouTube took it down. Here it is right here, 17 seconds. It's called Alex Jones Sega CD.
Accept the truth and fuck the system and the Root Collective. Do that, and you'll earn your way to the next level. This is the InfoWar.
I could totally see that on Sega CD. Oh, that's so good. I'm going to play it one more time for everybody. Hang on. So imagine this on like your Sega CD, and Alex Jones is prepping you up.
Accept the truth and fuck the system and the Root Collective. Do that, and you'll earn your way to the next level. This is the InfoWar. What do I do, Lord?
Oh, it's so good. So good. I could totally see that on Sega CD. Me too. So anyway, all right, let me get back here. Jonathan McDonald, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Jeremy, are you worried that because of what happened to Alex Jones, creators like you can be shut down for your strong opinions on Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Roundhead? Thanks. Love your videos. For now, no. I'm not really worried. Like, I know a lot of my critics out there like to say I'm the Alex Jones of Star Wars, which to me is funny. Like I said, if I'm bothering you that much, then I'm doing my job well. Not right now. I'm not worried about anything like that because there's nothing anybody can point to that's on this channel that's considered hate speech. They can say it is, but I can prove that it's not. Alex Jones has said some crazy things. We all know this. But in time, yes, I think that this could be the beginning stages of getting to a point where they really do start controlling the narrative a lot more in the future. That's my concern. So I'm not worried about tomorrow. I'm not worried about the next day. I'm not worried about 6 months from now. But, in the near future, next year or two, with the foundation that they're trying to set, because Alex Jones is just the first. Trust me, he's not the last. And if you think that, you're not understanding what's going on here. He's only the first of many. And if they can take this dude down, who had, how many subs did he have? Like 1 million. Like if they can take this guy down, they can take anybody down. And that's what needs to be understood. So, but again, so many people are looking at this and just going, oh, I hate Alex Jones. I'm glad he's gone. That's not what you need to be looking at. This is bigger than Alex Jones. This is bigger than your hate of Alex Jones. And that is the problem. So 2 million. Okay. 2.5 million subs. Okay. So this cat had 2.5 million subs. All right. Rooster Snake, 3 of 4 platforms all decide to randomly deplatform Jones within a span of 12 hours. What was the definition of conspiracy again? Yep. That's right, man. That's right. And so I don't know, man. I think that there probably is more to this story on both sides of the situation as anything. And I always say that we have to start thinking about things in perspective. And so many people don't do that these days. They don't look at it in perspective. I said this with the Chris Hardwick, Chloe Dykstra situation when she wrote that piece on Medium talking about him, or basically she didn't name him, but she was talking about all this abuse and all this stuff. But she didn't go to the authorities. And before he was able to even open his mouth to defend himself, the internet and the SJWs had decided he was guilty. And my stance on it was, can we just hear both sides first before we decide who's guilty? Can we just hear both sides? Because this is a former girlfriend talking about a former boyfriend. If you've ever been in a relationship and you've ever broken up, you all know you say stuff that ain't true about your ex, and your ex says stuff about you that ain't true, because you both want to make sure that everyone believes it's not your fault. That's just what human beings do. I've had ex-girlfriends. I'm like, that bitch is crazy. She did this, she did that. She, like just trying to make her seem like a terrible person to my peers, because I don't want them to know that I'm the asshole, because we are all assholes. And so she'll say all this stuff about me that isn't true. And then the truth lies somewhere in the middle. That's how almost everything works. So, Space Bear says women are always right. This is true. This is true. Jeremy, when you hired Jesse, Ivan, and Anna, I bought my competition. Jeremy's ex is a gay frog. Jeremy noticed me without consent. Never been in a relationship. Oh, well, that's terrible. That's probably it actually means you're happy if you've never been in a relationship. So one more time, if you need me to update what the topic of this video is, please let me know in the comments below. I don't want to keep repeating it for everyone that's been here for the whole time, but if you want me to give you an update on the headline of this video, please let me know if you're just joining us. If not, I'm not going to keep repeating this every 2 seconds, because I know everybody's getting tired of hearing that. So, all right. So Benjamin says he needs an update. Okay. Gotcha, man. So the point I was making, I'm going to make it quick. The Walt Disney Company reported fiscal third quarter earnings and revenue that missed analysis expectations on Tuesday. So they had their conference call. Bob Iger was on it. They talked about slightly missing Wall Street's expectations. It wasn't a big problem for them. They slightly missed in a few areas, but overall, studio was up. Parks and resorts were up. And Infinity War and The Incredibles were both awesome for them in the studio department. My question was, how much did Solo play into this? And I don't know, and a lot of people aren't aware of how much Solo could have played into this, but I think that's the most interesting aspect of it, because Solo did lose money. It lost money from a studio standpoint. It lost money from toy sales, because we all know nobody bought those damn terrible toys, except for, like I said, Ethan Van Sciver bought them so he can make fun of them, which I fully endorse, and I'm sure all of you do too. And then after the conference call, their stock dropped 2%, which I thought was really interesting. So put ESPN up for sale. Yeah, ESPN's a disaster. Let's see. If Walt was resurrected and saw what Disney had become, he would kill himself again. Ooh, man. I agree with you, man. I think he would be amazed at how big it's gotten and how big the reach has become. But I think that he would be very disappointed with what Disney has become, in my opinion. So, Jeremy, it's time for a Geeks and Gamers app. I want an app. An app is going to be expensive. So here's what's going to happen too. Very soon on our Patreon, I'm going to start doing 4 live streams a month on our Patreon account for our Patreon supporters. I don't know exactly what tier that falls in. I've got to look at that because my team developed the tiers, but it's going to be obviously it's going to be a little more personal because there won't be as many people in there probably unless you all become patrons. But that's going to be awesome. And we can talk more about what you guys want to see from Geeks and Gamers in the future. I'm going to be a little more open about the business side of Geeks and Gamers to our Patreon supporters, because you guys are going to be very important to what we're doing in the future. The things you want to see from Geeks and Gamers. I'm going to be a little more transparent, talk about like what the costs are going to be and what our budget is, things like that. A lot of things I don't talk about openly here on the internet, just because I don't think it's everyone's business. But if you're a Patreon supporter for Geeks and Gamers, there's a lot coming in the near future, as I've been talking to you about. Let's see here. Geeks and Gamers app would trend number 1. If we could just get a few peeps in there, that'd be cool for me. But I do think if we could develop an app, I think we could do some cool things with an app. But it's pretty expensive to get an app developed the proper way. So let's see. Benobi75 says good stuff. Jeremy, thank you. How bad was the revenue? It wasn't terrible. They slightly just missed revenue on their quarter earnings call, quarter 3. But the point I was trying to make was that they slightly missed their overall revenue reports. How much did Solo play into that? That was the question. So if you're interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, hang on and I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up with a link. Come on. Come on. Give me just a minute. I'm about to drop a link in here. Clipboard. And boom. There you go. Okay. Can't wait to see Glass. I still have not watched the Glass trailer because like I told you guys, I don't watch trailers unless I'm doing a reaction for the channel for you. But again, a lot of these little things that you're asking for, because YouTube is all about this mother effing algorithm. So a lot of this stuff, I'm just going to be doing like personal stuff on the Patreon account. So like trailer reactions, I'm going to be doing that for a lot of our patrons. And I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing group Google Hangouts that's just with us talking. You guys can ask me questions. The Geeks and Gamers team is going to be on there. I'm telling you, a lot's coming to Patreon, and I'm going to make up for the fact that I've been so busy and I haven't been paying attention to it. So, and I'm looking forward to getting away from relying on YouTube revenue to help fund Geeks and Gamers, because I don't know. I just don't want everything put into YouTube's hands because I don't trust YouTube. I just don't. I don't trust anybody. I trust myself. That's why I started my own company, because I trust myself, because I worked for corporate America for a long time. And it's BS, and they don't care about you. Corporate America doesn't give a shit about you. They don't care how hard you work. They don't care how much you dedicate your time. You are nothing but a number to them. And whenever you can be cut to help their bottom line to increase by $5, they will cut you. They do not care. They have no sympathy for you, your family. They don't give a shit. They are not humans. They are robots driven by money and hookers. That's basically all they want, money and hookers. So, which, I mean, hey, don't we all? So, all right. It's good to have more than one way to get revenue. Yes, 100%. Mega Jetty, watch GTA VC San Andreas 4 and 5 on YouTube to catch up. Will do. And Mega Jetty, again, thank you so much for all of the support. Jeremy, which consoles do you play? Says Nico. Good question. I mean, I have every console. So I have a PS4, I have an Xbox One S, I have a Wii U, I have a Switch, I have a 360, a PS3. You see my old school systems behind me. I have my GameCube over here. I have my N64, my Sega Genesis, my Super Nintendo, got my Dreamcast. So what do I play the most? The most is my Switch, because I'm a Nintendo guy. I'm a lifelong Nintendo guy. I'm always going to be a Nintendo guy. I love Nintendo. But if you want to talk about what do I play more at a PS4 and Xbox One, I usually play my Xbox One more. But I really don't like Xbox, so go figure. But for some reason, I think I like the controller more on Xbox One, so that's why I play it more. Let's see. Let's see. I'm looking. MW77, who will watch Rian Johnson's trilogy? Great question for the chat. Jeremy, I want a Geeks and Gamers sweatshirt. Send me a link. We don't have any merchandise available at the moment. We are working with Crypto Fashion. We want to move everything over to Crypto Fashion because we've had a few complications with other vendors we were using. So Crypto Fashion has been really good for Ethan and some other content creators. So maybe within the next week, I'll have something for you. So it looks like nobody is watching. Rian Johnson's trilogy, which is hilarious. What's up, geeks and gamers? I'm selling out, and now I'm promoting Cheerios. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, man. Jonathan McDonald, speaking of your own business, Jeremy, our Geeks and Gamers hiring. Would love to come work for you guys, even though I'm in Texas. Shameless self-advertising is shameless. Well, I mean, you wouldn't have to be here in Pensacola. So right now, basically how we are structured is it's all voluntarily stuff, like volunteer stuff. So if you're interested in being a content creator, you can go to geeksandgamers.com. You can hit the apply here button. And that is basically going to be for writing for the website, because that's generally all we have available right now is writing for the website. Everything else is we have all of our positions are covered. So if you're interested in that, then my editors will look it over and they'll go from there. But that's really all we have open right now. So geeksandgamers.com, apply here. And then from there, Alex or Nikki will check out your content and we will see. Cosmic Cam, I didn't receive a notification. Yeah, man, sorry. I appreciate you guys showing up. Let's see. Nicholas Glenn just got sent over from Doomcock's live stream. Oh yeah, I gotta respond to Doomcock. He sent me a message earlier. Jonathan McDonald, appreciate the answer. No problem, buddy. Appreciate you showing interest. You guys always ask me about that. No High Council. Yes, we're having the High Council tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Comic Artist Pro Secrets, Ethan Van Sciver's channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. Jeremy, the chat is a content creator. This is true. Hippie Crusher says no notification. Same. Sorry, guys. It's so frustrating. Have you seen Disney's 1993 Three Musketeers? Absolutely. A long time ago, and I love that movie. That's a really good movie, Mega Jetty 1. It's a really good movie. I actually wouldn't mind watching that again. It's been a long time since I watched it. 1993's Three Musketeers is a really good movie. High Council is going to be awesome tonight. I'm looking forward to it myself. Favorite MCU movie? It's been Guardians of the Galaxy for the longest. And while the James Gunn situation hasn't necessarily hurt my opinion of Guardians of the Galaxy, I just recently rewatched Infinity War on digital. And that's the first time I saw it since it was in theaters. And it's Infinity War is my favorite now. It has topped Guardians of the Galaxy. It's great. It's a legendary film. It's unbelievable. Vorhe67 says, YouTube unsubbed me from Odin and I miss his live stream. First one I've missed since subscribing. That really upset me. Oh, that's very frustrating. Very frustrating. Shout out to Odin. He's doing a great job for us. And he's doing a great job over on his own personal channel. Let's see. Call of Duty Infinity War. And then another thing too that we're going to be doing on the another thing we're going to be doing on the Patreon for patrons, we're going to be doing video game streams with the Geeks and Gamers team. Like for instance, and I don't know how many people will be interested, but I tried playing this new Black Ops game and I was not impressed. But I would love to get our Geeks and Gamers team together and some of our patrons to play some private matches on Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, and Black Ops 2. I would love to do that. I miss Black Ops 1 and 2 so much. And that's really the last time I cared for Call of Duty, Black Ops days. But yeah, the Black Ops 4, just, I'm not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling it at all. I mean, I'm sure we have access for both systems. Yeah, I mean, I know I have it on both Xbox One or Xbox 360 and PS3. So, Blops is meh. Come on, Luke, not Skywalker. Blops is not meh. Blops is really good. Black Ops is great. Black Ops Days sounds like a band. Let's see here. I wish we could talk sports on this channel. Me too. But everybody gets mad when we talk sports, so we can't do it. Movie Pass is dying. Yes, Movie Pass. Look, I mean, I've got a good hookup here in Pensacola, so I'm good to go see movies whenever. But it's I never bought Movie Pass, so I don't know the struggles that a lot of people went through. But Odin made a video on this channel, And, it's awesome. So let's see. Alex Munoz, what do you think Weiss and Benioff's Star Wars is about? A lot of people, because of the Game of Thrones aspect, a lot of people are hoping it's like an Old Republic style, setting. And I share that thought completely. That's what I would love to see. I would love to see some Old Republic style stuff. I think that fits them perfectly. So that's what I'm hoping. But I've heard people talking about the Mandalorians rumor, but I guess that was tied to the TV series, if I'm not mistaken. So, but I haven't heard that rumor at all. I haven't heard that other than the fact that somebody said it in my comments. I haven't seen that rumor going around the internet at all. So, let's see. I'm so glad you're back, Jeremy. I couldn't stand that weird pink guy. Oh man, Edward Coleman, and thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. Let's see. Thank Jeremy. Thanks. Since my accident, it's been hard, but you and your channel put a smile on my face every day. Now, if I can only get a notification. Well, thank you, Edward. Hope everything's going well for you, man. And I'm glad we're here for you. I'm glad we can do anything to take your mind off of that. That means a lot to me. Seriously, it really does. So but yeah, anything we can do, man, just let us know. The only thing we can do to battle notifications, like I said, we do have our Discord server. And if you join that, and you can turn notifications on through that, and that will help some of you. Boom, there it is right there. So let's see here. Trying to see what we got going on here. Any chance the anime and PC game crew will do their own channels in the Geeks and Gamers channel network, says Ever Numb. Well, the anime crew has, the Anime Lately team has their own channel. It's called Anime Lately. I think we got about 200 or 300 subscribers over there. Also, we just got press passes for an anime convention in New York. We got that sealed today, so I'm very excited for my team to go up there and represent Geeks and Gamers. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so somebody just sent a $9.99 super chat, but it was restricted. The message was retracted. So I appreciate it. I hope that that wasn't a mistake on your part. So yeah, I hope not. I hope, but whoever sent it, thank you very much. Sincerely appreciate that. So let me see. You should get Grace on the show as a guest. Hey, if you guys can get Grace Randolph to respond, I mean, you can let her know what we would love to have her on the channel. And I would love to talk to Grace Randolph. So I haven't always been the biggest fan of her in the past, but recently, in the past 6 months, I mean, she's won me over. So I would definitely have nothing but a respectful conversation with her. That would be great. So. Let's see. All right, Jeremy, I've watched Alpha Dog. Now here's my suggestion to you as a super underrated movie, Strange Days. I don't think I've seen Strange Days, so I'll have to keep my eyes and ears open for that. Billy Reacher says, I'm drunk watching Interstellar. A frustrated gamer says, hey, Jeremy, hello. Thank you for joining us, my man. And melee that smash button if you don't mind, guys. We appreciate it. So would you talk to Alex Jones on your show? Yeah, I would definitely talk to Alex Jones on here. That would be effing fantastic. Which, I mean, I don't know if I could put him on YouTube without being insta-banned by everybody, but I would put him, I'd record something and put it on, geeksandgamers.com if that's all we could do. So who's the one person you would never have on your show? I don't know if there's like a specific one person I would say. What I would say is that I don't want to give people that specifically take shots at me and make up things about me. I don't want to give them the opportunity to come on the show and reward them spewing nonsense. If they're a legitimate critic of me and they don't like what I say and they challenge what I say, that's one thing. But when you start making up things that simply aren't true, I'm not really interested in having a conversation with you at that point. But if you disagree with me, I'm really fine with that. So I don't know if there's any names that I could say that I wouldn't have on the channel. There's just there's a few names out there floating around that I'm not going to mention that I'm getting a little sick of them constantly running their mouths. But again, I hope that their channels continue to, succeed and do what they need to do. But at this point, though, I can't think of really anybody I wouldn't have. I would have Kathleen Kennedy on this channel right now. I would love to interview Kathleen Kennedy. I would love that, but it ain't going to happen, and you know it. Hell, nobody can get an interview with her because she's too busy, with her camel hiding in a bunker in Iraq because she's scared to answer questions. So, let me see. All right, let me get caught up here. We got a couple of Vader and Luke fight pre-Empire Strikes Back in the canon comics. I don't know what you're saying though, MW77. Vader and Luke fight pre-Empire Strikes Back in the canon comics. I don't know if that was to me or someone else. I apologize. Wolfman Jack. Let's see. When people hated X-Men Origins Wolverine, Fox used Days of Future Past to time travel plot to uncanonize that movie. Do you think Lucasfilm will use time travel of the new trilogy if it's the proper leadership? I think luckily they have that option because Dave Filoni's given them that option. Technically, I mean, with the World Between Worlds, if you haven't seen Rebels, you don't know what I'm talking about, but they have that option within canon to right the wrongs of The Last Jedi. It's so hard to say, man. It really is. I don't know what they're thinking, and the new leadership that would all determine on who it is. And episode 9, like there's just so much on the line right now for episode 9. And I think that if episode 9 underperforms and does like $600 million worldwide, which I still think is pretty hard to imagine, but if it does like 600 or 700 million worldwide, I think Disney's going to go into panic mode. And I think reality is going to finally slap them in the face. It's going to be a situation like election night with all the people that didn't understand that, they just assumed Hillary was going to win. And then they slowly, like their world starts closing in on them and the reality starts smacking them in the face. I feel like that's what's going to happen with Disney. If episode 9 does like $600 or $700 million, they're going to be sitting there and they're going to be like, the walls are going to start closing in on them slowly until they realize we have completely effed this whole thing up. And at that point, yeah, I think that could be a possibility if we get to that point. Great question, by the way. And thank you for the super chat. Warren Roar says, preach it, Jeremy. Thank you for what you do, brother. Thank you so very much for your support. That means a lot. Now to update everybody, if you want me to update the topic that is in the video, please let me know. I've updated this about 20 times now, and I'm just trying to not bore the people that have sat here for so long. So just let me know if you want me to update the story for the headline of the video, and I'll be more than happy to do that. Let's see. Reed Palantia. I hate time travel as a device. It is used as a cop-out, and it tends to cause so many story problems because it turns into a crutch. I don't disagree with you at all. While I love the World in Between Worlds, I love it from a fanboy standpoint because of what happened. I'm not going to get into the details for anybody that hasn't seen it yet, but I love it for a lot of reasons. And so I'm probably not looking at it from an objective standpoint because I know there's a lot of people that don't like the World in Between Worlds being introduced into the Star Wars universe. And I'm not going to argue with you on it because you probably have a very valid point for that. I'm looking at it strictly from a fanboy standpoint and not an objective standpoint. And that's what a lot of people can't do these days. They can't look at things objectively at all. They can't. And they can't acknowledge that they're not looking at things objectively. I can do that. Like, for instance, Interstellar, my favorite movie ever. Why? Well, I think it's a fantastic movie. I think that a lot of the, the time traveling, the quantum physics, the acting, the emotion, the lack of CG, the storytelling, the father-daughter dynamic, which actually impacts me on a personal level. But even still, I got a problem with that movie. I got one problem with that movie. It's just one. And it's towards the end. Spoilers if you haven't seen Interstellar. But towards the end, when Murph goes into the room, when Cooper goes into the room to see Murph, the editing is terrible in that situation because it makes it look like he walks in there, he sees her for like 2 seconds, and then he leaves. And there's some narration after the fact that kind of tells you, no, he was actually there for a lot longer and he was talking to her and they bonded and everything like that. But the editing is not very good in that scene. And it doesn't really give you the full emotional punch that you need. You kind of needed to see a slow little montage of them sitting there laughing, crying, carrying on, bonding, catching up. But you didn't get that. You know, and I felt like that was the one part of the movie that I felt like was a pretty, like, it bothers me. It bothers me. Outside of that, you know, I love everything else about it. So the captain says, gotta disagree, Interstellar was terrible. No, I'm just messing with you. And that's cool. I know a lot of people who don't like it. It was not my $9.99. Yeah. Edward Coleman, it was my $9.99. Accidentally sent it twice, but keep my money. Man, if you need to retract that, you can get your $9.99 back. I don't mind at all. So you do what's best for you, and I appreciate it either way. But, either way, we're good. So no problem at all, buddy. All right. I'm going to have to wrap this up soon because I got the High Council in less than 2 hours. I've got to go eat, but I've got a few super chats. So let's see. And find out where I'm at. Craft75 says, what about Star Roar? I'm starting to like her vid. I don't know what that is. Star Roar? I don't know what that is. I'm starting to like her vid. Is that like a YouTube channel? I'll have to check that out if that's what's going on. I have no idea. Let me see here. And I'm sorry if I missed yours earlier. Mega Jetty 1, does it pay to work for geeks and gamers? Some aspects it does. I mean, like I said, we're just getting started, so I don't want to get into all of the payroll and the benefits of it, but my people are taken care of, so that's the best I can say. So Jonathan McDonald, time travel can be a crutch, but when you shoot yourself in the foot, sometimes you need a crutch. That's good. Okay, so yes, it's a channel, says Craft75. Okay, I'm not familiar with that channel, but I will check it out. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. I appreciate all of you being here in the live stream, being supportive, being awesome. Hit that melee button before you bounce out of here if you don't mind. I'll see you guys all on the what's the G&G Q3 revenue report, Space Bear. It's going to be better than Disney's, that's for sure, in terms of profit. That's all I can say. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the High Council tonight on Comic Artist Pro Secrets in about an hour and 45 minutes. You guys are all the best. Check us out on Patreon. Got a lot of cool stuff coming your way. As we sail off into the sunset, I'm going to drop that link one more time. And you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon. Let me know where you're watching from. Brighton Cherry. Cosmic Cam says, top shelf as always. Thank you. Appreciate that. Pennsylvania, Australia, Seattle, Austria, Mars, James Gunn's basement, Wales, the world in between worlds, Mexico, an ETA man, Alaska, Brazil, Florida, Louisiana, Washington State, Massachusetts, Quebec, New Mexico, Palm Beach County, France, Alaska, Honolulu, Connecticut, sitting in your living room, Tupac's house, Columbia, Texas, Ahsoka's bed, Morith, dang, I missed it. Sorry, Morith, but we'll be on the High Council tonight over on Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Smith Sun City says Auburn, Alabama. Roll Tide, sir. Germany, Indiana, right behind you. Parts unknown. Parts unknown. You're from where the Ultimate Warrior is. Parts unknown. Mississippi, Raccoon City, Iowa, Honduras, Ohio, Ryan Johnson's basement, breakfast room. All right, guys. I love you all. I'll see you.